Okay, and welcome to this Monday edition of POV Live. I just received some very interesting information in the email, and we got some insider access. And this isn't the same kind of insider crap that we know from the same old names. Okay, this is some insider news from someone named Rob Shooter. And apparently, this dude is an insider with Hollywood, and he doesn't only talk about Meghan. He has stories about Travis Kelce, CBS threatening Colbert. So this guy is the real deal when it comes to stuff going on in Hollywood. And right now, it looks like this guy, Rob Shooter, he is claiming that the Netflix deal is, in fact, dead. And this is huge because this is a scoop right here. This man, Rob Shooter, can confirm Meghan Markle's multi-million-dollar streaming deal will not be renewed when it expires. While still technically active, insiders say the streamer is quietly preparing to sever ties once the clock runs out. Quote, they're letting it expire without drama, but there's no appetite for anything new. Now I wonder why that is. See, and this is what we've talked about many times, where when you have someone like Meghan and Harry, they were given the opportunity of a lifetime. They were given $100 million deal by Netflix, a $20 million deal by Spotify. Both of those numbers are contested, but you know what I mean. They were given these things and they didn't produce shit. That's the word. I'm sorry to have to say it, but it's bleep. You know, I know it's still early in the live, so I'm not supposed to say any curse words, but it's the truth, man. Could you imagine, as someone that is trying to be a director and a producer and an actor, right? And then you see these two individuals, they get this $100 million deal, and then what do they do with it? Crap documentaries. That's what they do. It's real. This really happened. And now, hey, that's what you get. You know, because how many times have we heard about this Netflix deal and how it was going to be renewed? Well, this one coming straight from Rob Shooter himself, whoever this guy is. Apparently, he's a big deal. I received the email. The decision comes after With Love Meghan. We do know about that. Number 383. And she had a quote. She had everything going for her. Name, platform, press, and the numbers were dismal. Rob Shooter's source says the streamer had previously teased a second season, but insiders clarify the footage was filmed alongside season one. There it is right there. As a cost-saving strategy, quote, there is no actual renewal. It was baked in from the start. And finally, we're hearing this. Finally, we're getting it. We don't need any of this bullshit from Meghan Markle's PR. I've never even heard of this dude until I just received it. And, you know, I got to tell you, from what I've looked into this guy, he does all kinds of Hollywood stuff, all kinds of pop culture stuff. And this is what he's talking about with his own scoop. Let's go into the comments for a quick second before we get into a little bit more. Hi, Andrew from South Africa. Love your channel. So the Netflix deal is dead. It couldn't happen to a more deserving pair. And remember that, Jay, is that we're not talking about how you and I, Jay, how we're here talking crap about Meghan and Harry, right? And then their Netflix shows are really good, right? Like that would be a totally different story. If I was here making videos about Meghan, and if I was here trying to criticize her and everything that she does, right? But yet the actual Netflix content is really good, really high rated. It's really great on IMDb, right? That would be a totally different story, but it's not that. It's not at all. Both of these people have no talent whatsoever. So it's very obvious why this Netflix deal is in fact dead. And the reason that I'm running this live is because this inside information doesn't come from the same insiders. You know who I'm talking about. I don't need to say their names, right? The Megxit creators. It doesn't come from the same insiders, and it doesn't come from the same old people. This is from this guy, Rob Shooter, SHUTER, and it's hashtag Shooter Scoop. It's on Substack. And this guy, apparently, he's got the inside scoop making it happen, right? And he's not on YouTube, so this isn't some kind of made-up story. We all know, right? Like South Park. All right, next, continuing, excuse me. Even more damaging was the client's docuseries that came in at number 3,436, worth only 500,000 views. The interest just isn't there anymore, the source says. They went from buzzy to background noise. Meghan and Harry did. Absolutely. Absolutely, they went from buzzy to background noise because they were given everything. Paula, you want to come in on this, Paula? Tell me in the comments if you want to come in on this so I can send you the link for this. I think that when it do you blame Oprah? I blame Oprah. I mean, I don't blame Oprah because Oprah gave them, Oprah gave them the deal. So I feel like it would be something else where, hold on, let me see. Invite guest. Okay. Copy. And all right. And I feel like Oprah gave them the deal. And it's really simple when it comes to what this is happening. These two people are not very good. They have no talent, none. Meghan Markle got a shot at the biggest streaming service in the entire world, and she couldn't do a damn thing with it. And that's why. Do I blame Oprah? Not in the slightest. I blame these two people. I blame Meghan. And you know what? I bet you Harry blames Meghan because Harry was probably told that Meghan was, or by Meghan, excuse me, Harry was probably told, no, we're going to do this and we're going to get these documentaries and they're going to be really great and everything's going to be really amazing. Paul, I just sent it to you. And everything's going to be really, really amazing. And of course not. And it wasn't. And Harry was lied to. Meghan told him that they were going to go from the UK over to the United States and they were going to be fake American royalty and they were going to be stars and they were going to be this and that. And none of it happened. And you want to know why? You want to know why really with Meghan? With her problem is that she had the shot to put herself in movies and in TV shows. Now, I don't know if she didn't think she could do it. I don't know if Meghan thought that it was beneath her to be acting again. But if she would have made movies and TV shows, real, actual content, see, that would have been a totally different show. It absolutely would have. The final episodes of With Love, Meghan will likely air later this year. But behind closed doors, the verdict is already in. This deal is dead. They're just waiting for the credits to roll. And there it is. And that's why like I said earlier, the only reason I came live is because this information is coming from someone that's not an insider. You know the names we both know, so I didn't have to say it. We're waiting for Paula to get in, and that way she can, what do you call it? She can, discuss this with us. But yeah, yeah. See, Paula, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear?
Okay, so let's go from the top, from the tibbity top. Shooter Scoop, they're letting it expire without drama, but there's no appetite for anything new. Paula, what do you got? What are you thinking?
Well, where is Meghan Markle in all of this? Didn't she said that on Talk 100 that they were renewing and Ted Sarandos was going to kill her because that fat guy, the cook, the chef, what's his name?
Yes, Jose Andres.
Jose Andres was going to be there among fascinating people and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they say that? If I remember correctly, didn't she go and talk? And I said at the time I did a video that was her way of blackmailing him, putting him on the spot kind of thing. It's like, now you have to do it because I've said it in public, because that's Meghan Markle's MO. Literally, to put you on the spot and publicly say stuff to force other people. In her mind, is like, if I railroad, it's railroading, and
yeah,
and
that's what it is. That's
exactly
like what it is.
I say to you, well, Andrew, you said you were going to give me $10,000, and like saying it very publicly, or that we're signing the contract in September. Why wait until September if you're such a rock star like that?
So then, what do you make of that quote? There's no appetite for anything new.
Well, there is appetite for her, but not the thing that they're claiming. Like they want to see her, like get down and dirty kind of thing. Like talk about the real things. If you,
do you think it's because that they never talked about the royal family again?
No, I think it's because they lied about the royal family. Because the United States, you may say whatever you want about the Americans, but you may have fights with your family or whatever. But especially among the Black community or Latinos, you know how we are, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we may, I may call my cousin a dumbass, but I will not allow anybody else to call him a dumbass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when Harry and Meghan go and Oprah and lie, because pretty much everything they said there was a lie,
Yeah.
like they called them a racist, and here it is. They
Yeah,
called
absolutely.
this, and then at the end, here it is.
And then what do you make of this next quote? She had everything going for her with her Netflix deal, her name, the platform, the strategy, and the numbers were dismal.
The thing is, again, because she ruined her image. Like who who on earth is going to believe that the monarchy, the royal family, gave Meghan Markle $1.5 million on
Mm-hmm.
clothing allowance? That was three times the budget of the entire royal households in Europe. And I don't think they gave it to her. I just think that she kept buying stuff and not paying for it because she thought that she would, they had to give it for free. And then that she's saying that she couldn't believe she's not getting paid for that, showing disrespect to the queen, not lying about where the children come from. Because my belief is that the children exist, but I don't believe she delivered them. Because
Yeah,
this
of
woman
course.
would have been Meghan Markle. Had she really been pregnant, we would have never stopped hearing how she was sick, and she would have been endorsing
Whoop.
baby clothes and all kinds of things. This woman would have been the most show off pregnant woman in the history of the royal family. She would have done those steps of the little wing, because this woman is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely obsessed with Princess Diana. This woman is a camera whore. I'm sorry, can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely. She's an attention whore. We know that. We can
No,
say
but
that.
she's
Yeah.
she's like, so you're telling me that she would have not done, had the entire world come out triumphantly with that baby on her arms
Yeah. But do you
to
think,
recreate
going back
Princess
to the
Diana's
Netflix thing
iconic
though,
thing,
but going back to the Netflix thing, do you think that it's because lack of talent? She
Oh,
sucks.
yeah, clearly. I mean, Andrew, if she had been talented, oh, what's new? Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you so
donating
much.
for me
What's new?
50
What's new
bucks.
with the massive $50 super chat? Thank you so much. What's new? What's new coming in? We're gonna leave this one up for him. So yeah, but Paula, talk about the talent aspect. Have you seen
Okay, what
Megan's
talent? I'm
talent?
gonna ask you people in Hollywood. If you're talented, look at Viola Davis. She's not an attractive woman, but she's incredibly talented. If you're talented, talent is colorblind, and it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Talent is colorblind. If you really, I mean, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, I don't think she was, but she was a good actress in Color Purple and stuff like that. If you're talented, you are going to succeed. You know that girl that did Precious, that
Yeah,
movie Precious.
yeah.
I mean, guys, Meghan Markle has no talent other than like.
And do you think that if she would have put herself in movies or television, if she would have done something different instead of documentaries, then we would be here?
But who would want her? She doesn't know how to act.
Well,
I'm
no, but
always
that's the
shocked
thing
when
is what
people
I mean is because
say,
she got the deal so she could do it herself, is what I mean.
what do you mean by that? Sorry.
Like, because they gave her the $100 million deal, right? So if that deal is theirs, then they can say, okay, I'm going to produce a movie and then I'm going to put myself in it. I'm going to be the actor. I'm going to be the director. I'm going to be the producer,
But she
right?
did.
But
She
she
did.
didn't. So,
She
but
no
why,
no no
why do
no.
you think
She
she
had a
didn't?
lot of control. Remember that with Harry and Meghan. But what she does is when things fail, she blames others. Like for example, when Harry and Meghan got that huge backfire, right? She said, "Remember that midway they fired the director, the award-winning director."
Yeah.
And then when the thing came out, she kind of put a shield and said, "Well, that's not the way it would have gone before the thing came out." The
Yeah.
thing with Oprah is like they even showed themselves showing that they didn't know what it was going to be. They didn't know. So there's always the thing with the polo. Well, is that they weren't really. What do you mean? Your name is executive producer, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? And this woman is a control freak. We've had people from that we've been talking about Vanity Fair. The same thing with Archel. She's just lazy. I mean, the producers came out and said that she didn't even bother to do what you and I are doing, Andrew,
Yeah.
which is
And
interview
but
people.
why do you think she chose documentaries instead
But
of
nobody
movies and
wanted to
television.
hire her. Would you want to hire such a? What do you mean? Ron is wondering where I am. I have my live at 2 p.m. with Ron. What the hell is he talking about? What time is it in the UK?
Because the way that I feel is, I feel like if she had the talent, the content would have made itself. You know, like if she was any other actress, I just saw Deja Vu. You know who Paula Patton is?
Yeah.
Okay, watch. Let me pull up Paula Patton. Actually, I think that Meghan probably thinks she's as beautiful as Paula Patton, and she's absolutely not. Even though they kind of do look the same. Well, let me pull her up. See, this woman's gorgeous. She's got it going on, but she's a very great actress, right? So when you're talking about someone like Paula Patton, let's say that she's the one that got the $100 million deal. Someone that can act, someone that is beautiful, someone that actually can do something, right? This
Mhm.
is what I mean. What do you think is the real reason that we didn't get, oh, a television show, a Netflix show
Because again,
starring
she
Meghan
has no
Markle?
talent. She has no talent.
Yeah.
She's now has no talent.
Mm, mm.
No, I have to go because I forgot that I got the time mixed up with Ron. I thought it was late because of the time difference. There's an
Tell him to
hour
come over
ahead.
here.
No, he's doing this show for Sean thing. You know that he has to
Oh,
do.
okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so but I'll talk to you, sweetie. Okay.
Okay, bye. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, so now thank you to Paula for being here. But I think that, let's talk about this for a little while because I think this is real. I think that we're talking about a person that she doesn't have the chops. She didn't have what it takes. So when you're talking about something like this, here's the report, right? It says she had everything going for her: name, platform, press, and the numbers were dismal. But why were the numbers dismal? Right? Because she sucks. So you tell me in the comments, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Does Meghan Markle have any acting talent? Tell me in the comments what you think. Because in my opinion, I think the easiest thing when it comes to having $100 million Netflix deal, the easiest, and I mean it, the easiest thing she could have done was put herself in a movie, put herself into a TV show, right? It would have been so easy for her to do that, but she didn't want to because why? And this is why I feel that when you're talking about the Netflix deal, and now with this information, it's not being renewed. See, now with this, it's very obvious what's going on. Why isn't it being renewed? Because what she produced was crap. That's why. That's really why. What she produced was straight up ass. There was nothing good. And I don't think that when you're talking about someone that had a $100 million deal, I don't think that it's okay that they didn't do anything with it. And you really ask yourself, why did she even get the deal in the first place? What was the reason? So we're going to finish this off, and then we're going to finish off the live. Thank you everyone for being here. Even more damaging, as it says, Harry's Polo series, which was a massive failure. Number 3436, only with 500K views worldwide. The interest just isn't there anymore, right? And here's the thing. Think about this. Would the interest be there if they would have put out a movie, right? Don't you think? Would the interest be there if they would have put out a television show, not a crap documentary about polo or about Meghan's wannabe cookery fantasy? You know what I mean? And I feel like, unfortunately, the answer would be yes, because if she would have taken herself out of her little bubble and gotten on screen, or hell, right, gotten behind the screen, if she would have gotten behind the screen and then she would have said, okay, well, I'm going to be a director, or even further behind the screen, I'm going to be a producer. I want a producer credit on a movie or a producer credit on a television show. See, why didn't she ever do that? And I think the truth is, it's because she has no talent. And not only that, let's think about her delusion. Let's think about Meghan's delusion here. If she believes that as the Duchess, right? If she believes that the acting and doing movies and doing television shows, that's beneath her. That's a thing. I really do think that could be a thing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that she got offered roles, but I am going to say, as far as it goes, I think it would have been the easiest thing to do, because you got the deal. You could be a producer. Yeah, look, Marin Sweet's laughing, because it's true. And you know what, Marin Sweet, I could tell you the producer thing, it's probably because it would have been too much work. The director thing would have been too much work, right? So she didn't want to do it. And when I asked Paula about why do you think she, what do you call it? No, I don't want to see her face anywhere in anything. Right? When I asked Paula, why do you think she chose documentaries? I think one of the main reasons that she chose documentaries was because it's so easy and you don't have to do anything. All you do is you hire the people that are doing the camera, and then you have the topic. And that's it. There's no scripts. There's no locations. There's no having to pay for actors. And, I would even go as far as saying, how much did all of these people from Polo, remember the Polo show? How much did they even get paid? Did they even get paid at all? Because when you're making a documentary, does that mean that you really even get paid? So it is an interesting conversation, because exactly, Marin Sweet, because she's lazy. And this is why this is happening. And you have to ask yourself, what does she believe? Does she believe that, oh, well, I'm not going to be in movies. I'm not going to be in a television show. That's beneath me. I'm the Duchess. But then also at the same time, oh, what if she asked, and what if she said, well, what do we have to do for a movie? And then they were explaining it all to her. Oh, well, Meghan, you're just going to have a producer credit. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do that. That's how she is, because she's so absolutely lazy that she doesn't want to do anything. She wants nothing. It's so crazy to me that this is even happening, because you had all, and I mean all of all the chances in the world. You were handed on your freaking silver platter. You were handed the Spotify deal. She was handed the Netflix deal, right? All of these things. It could have been so freaking simple. It truly could have, but she didn't want to do it. She really didn't. It's so ridiculous. So let's finish this off. Even the client, the interest just isn't there anymore because they have no talent. One source says they went from buzzy to background noise. And that's so true. Think about where they are today compared to where they were 2 years ago. It's true. And that's one of the things that I've talked about with the whole South Park thing, where would it really even matter if South Park did a roast on them, because they're not popular anymore. Now in 2023, when Spare had just come out, when the documentary, the Meghan and Harry 8-part series or 6-part series, whatever trash it was, when that had just come out in late 22, remember, back then they were hot. They were hot as shit. Everything that was talked about them got the clicks, got the likes, got the views. But now, nothing whatsoever. So that's why you really see it. And this is, you know what this is? This is called a fumble. She fumbled $100 million Netflix deal. And this guy, watch, I'll show you exactly who he is. This is where I got it from. Rob Shooter. There he is right there. Welcome to Rob Shooter's Diary. The juiciest scoops and the boldest takes drop first. Love the gossip, support the drama, become a free or paid member right there. There you can see it. So this, and that's why I ran this story, because this isn't someone that's in the Meghan and Harry game. I don't even know who this guy is. And when Elizabeth W. sent me the article, I was like, oh shit, we got to go live. So let's finish this off. The final season of With Love, Meghan will air later this year, but behind closed doors, the verdict is already in. The deal is dead. They're just waiting for the credits to roll. Well, that's sad. I'm not going to sit here and try and say that I'm happy about it. I think this was a failure. I think she could have done much better, but she's not talented. You see, like, you know what? I think even you or I could have done better with $100 million deal from Netflix. We could have put together something that would have been so good that people would have wanted to watch it. But this woman, no, she didn't. She didn't want to do that because she's lazy, she's untalented, and she wants to do, remember, like she said in that podcast, nobody's going to do anything. I'm going to do everything on my time. Yes, Meghan. Yes, we get it. You're lazy and you want to do everything when you want to do it. We get it. Let's see, Miss Laugh-A-Lot, bloody love you. Greetings from the UK. Thank you so much for that. And we are going to end it here. Thank you so much for being here on this live. We will catch you next time.